What is going on, everybody? And yes, it is time for another Nintendo rant video. Because it seems like Nintendo can't go 1 month without doing something really stupid. And this right here is no exception. In fact, this is probably among the top dumbest things Nintendo has ever done. And that's really saying something. So, Nintendo is finally allowing Super Nintendo games to be put on the 3DS eShop. And this is something people have been asking Nintendo to do ever since the 3DS first came out, because we can already play NES games, Game Boy Color games, and even Game Boy Advance games on our 3DSs. So people have been wondering, why can't we play Super Nintendo games on our 3DS? Because that is something that is just a dream come true for a lot of old school gamers. I mean, to be able to play some of the best Super Nintendo games on the go whenever you want, wherever you want, that's awesome. And this is something that we should all be celebrating right now. The fact that Nintendo has finally allowing Super Nintendo games to be put on the 3DS. This is something we should all be celebrating. But why aren't we celebrating? Because there's a catch. And what is that catch? Super Nintendo games are only going to be available to be played on the new 3DS handhelds only. Not the 3DS XL or even the original 3DS. It's only for the new 3DS only. You know, just when you think Nintendo can't stick their foot in their mouth any more than they already have, they just continue to do it time after time again. And not only that, they even came out and actually said that the original 3DS is incapable of playing Super Nintendo games. They actually came out and said that a modern day handheld is incapable of playing 16-bit games from the 1990s. Just process that. Just process that. Just process how stupid that is. Now, here's a little impromptu quiz for you. What was the Nintendo console that came after the Super Nintendo? If you guessed Nintendo 64, you were correct. What games are available on the original 3DS? There are some remastered Nintendo 64 games on the original 3DS. And I'm talking about Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda Majora's Mask, and Star Fox 64 3D. These are all Nintendo 64 games that were remastered. As in, they are better than the original Nintendo 64 port. And these are available on the original 3DS. So, if the original 3DS is able to play better versions of Nintendo 64 games, why the hell is it incapable of playing Super Nintendo games? It doesn't make sense, does it? It really doesn't. But we can go further than that. Cell phones can play Super Nintendo games. So, is Nintendo admitting that their big handheld is weaker than our smartphones? Now, you know what? Maybe that's not fair. Maybe I should be picking another handheld and seeing if that handheld can play Super Nintendo games. Because you know what? That's fair. The 3DS is a handheld. So let's look for another handheld that can play Super Nintendo games. Oh, wait. There was one. Do you all remember the PSP? the PlayStation Portable that came out in 2005. It was Sony's first handheld device that was competing against the DS. A handheld from 2005 can play Super Nintendo games. Because you could actually hack and play emulated games on the original PSP. So people were playing NES games, Genesis games, Super Nintendo games on the PSP. So a handheld from 2005 was capable of playing Super Nintendo games. I mean, now, I know why Nintendo's doing this. I completely understand why they're doing this. They want people to buy the new 3DS. I'm assuming the sales aren't going that well for it, which isn't that surprising to me. And they want to get people to buy the handheld. And when you're buying a handheld, you need reasons to buy that handheld. So, in their mind, this is a reason. Oh, you could play Super Nintendo games on the go. This is why you should buy the new 3DS. Now, I don't mind companies trying to give me incentive to purchase their product. That is their job. I don't mind that. But when it involves lying and being dishonest to us, the consumer, I have a huge problem with that. So, that's about it. Please let me know what you think about this situation, because it's just amazing to me that we have a company here that desperately wants our money, and they seemingly throw away every single opportunity that is almost going to guarantee them to get our money. Because I guarantee you, if I was allowed to download Super Nintendo games on my original 3DS, I would be doing so gladly. I would be giving Nintendo money. But you know what? I guess they don't want it. So, alright, let me know what you think, and until next time, have a good one.